Right, it's Sunday, November the 17th, and I'm here today in Cork City to officiate and record the fact that Damian Keneally is going to, or maybe not going to, break 17. Let's see what happens. So I'm here with Rory O'Hagan, the most famous man in Cork now at this stage. It's a Red FM presenter, chairman of the Watergrass, race director, everything.
Right, let's the race director.
Everything, it can keep going. Rory, what you think of Damian's chances today?
Well, he's currently in the Jacks getting 6 in the nerves, so I'm looking forward to seeing him. Just make sure he's okay. Like, he's going for a pretty big time today. He's been training very, very hard. Kieran McKeown, if you've been listening to Runners Diary over the last few weeks, has been giving him some excellent training plans and some excellent advice. I think he's going to smash this morning. It's a perfect morning for it. It's sunny, it's bright, a little bit chilly, but there's no wind there, which is important.
Any expert tips?
Just run fast, Damian.
No, Andy. Andy lost faith in you. Andy didn't want to be here to see you fail. Well, Graham, as a man who supported his training, what do you think? What's your thoughts today? No bother to him. Have you any words of wisdom for Damian Keneally?
Absolutely no problem, sub 17.
Sub 16?
We won't push him.
who do or do not know, obviously we had the BHA in Cork, which we'll come to results later on for. Again, if you're listening for the first time, my plan was to try to break 17 minutes for the first time, and then think about 2.5, 3 years of 8 weeks of training. First of all, lads, as everyone knows here, the three of us know my training hadn't been ideal the last few weeks. Started off very well, started to fade away. We're still hitting the Wednesday sessions, which was good, but the runs around that didn't work, and I got kind of nervous, and I got, I was at this middle of it. I was like, yeah, I can do this. I think I will be able for this. Then all of a sudden, the confidence started to, slide.
When you're saying the middle of this now, do you mean the middle of the race or the middle of
No,
your
the
training?
training block. So I'd say about 6 weeks into the block. So 2 weeks ago, I was like, oh no, this is actually going to struggle. And I struggled on the session with yourself, Andy, that day. And I, not struggle, but I blew up a little bit. And last week and last Wednesday was a good session. Then I was very happy with that. A massive thank you for Graham coming out there, lads, as well. Lovely writing and all on the road, Tour de France style writing. So fair play to him. He's the battery went into his bike and the whole lot, so he had to cycle it normally in the e-bike. So he was doing a bit of work himself on that. But it was brilliant because Andy obviously cancelled just beforehand. So it was great to have Graham out there and supporting me. But
I'll be honest, I kind of never had any intentions of going, but I just said I'd tell you that you are, just so I'd get you out of bed. It's like a little trick I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be there, yeah.
Anyway, the race, lads. So went down again. Great to see everybody.
Morning for running.
Perfect morning. Can't complain. Course, not a fan of the course. Bit twisty turny. Bit twisty turny done by Park Creep. I think they could have done without that. I think there was surely is a way they could have worked the course where that didn't happen. But everyone had to run it, so that's okay. And plan obviously was to go to 5:25. It was a bit of a false start for people. Like, at the start they went to the horn to go off, but it was actually a testing horn, but they never told anybody. So I think a few of us started the watches. So if anyone sees my Strava, which says 16:59, the reason it says that because there was a false start, and I didn't have time to reset the watch to go back to the start of it. So that's the reason why the Strava.
That added to a lot of drama though for those that were following on Strava. I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
16, including Andy.
Yeah.
I was stressed out at home looking, and I saw.
So the race went off. Gun went off. Was I stayed obviously. Yeah. Sorry.
Just in tradition though, I have to mention it was great that the BHA race was 10 minutes late starting just to keep with format, and the shouts of go back were heard well as well. So.
Someone should write a song about that.
Someone should definitely write a song about that.
They've gone back to their roots.
Yeah. But it went off grand, first mile, slight, obviously down towards Parky Queeve, and got into the rhythm of it. Again, because of the 3 or 4 seconds that was on my watch, I didn't actually know what pace I was going at that time, which probably wasn't a bad thing either. So the mile marker came in, and I think it read 5:28, which I think was about 5:25-ish roughly, which is exactly what I said I wanted to set out at. Yeah. Second mile then got a little bit more technical because you have the twists and the turns in Parky Creek, but it was lovely because you come around back down past the pitch, and there was loads of people coming towards you, and that's where the shouts would come out. And I honestly think I could hear Graham at one stage shouting across the far side as well, so it was good. 5:20, I think that was 5:28 for that mile then. A bit slower because you had that twist turns, then you had a climb when you came out of it. But it was nice. There was a little group around way at that stage, and it was perfect. We were all kind of happy out. It's amazing how fast you go from being grand to being knackered in
a 5K, especially, yeah.
Like
holding on then, like
for literally mile 3, and those who know Cork and the Marina, you're going back up Monaghan Road, and I thought Monaghan Road turned into Everest all of a sudden in my head.
I think it's such a straight road too, though. I think it's probably not like we were talking about today being a slight incline, but
there's nothing there.
There's nothing. I think it's such a straight road. You can see nearly a mile ahead of where you need to be, and that plays with your head a bit, I think, as well.
Yeah, and I could have there's a couple of people ahead that I tried to use as that, trying to catch them as much as I could, but I was starting to struggle. In my head, it was like again, I said before, like ages ago, like breathing and stuff like that. I was trying to focus on my breathing, trying to get myself back calmed down, not to be feeling that I'm absolutely fucked. Um, and I got to the Marina Market alongside of me, and I was like, looked down at my watch, and I think it was like, you've 90 seconds to get this. You've 90 seconds now here left.
Mhm.
Go. Bloody well go. Got to the roundabout, and I think it was yourself, Brian. I don't know if you were at the roundabout. I think Karen was at the roundabout. I don't
Aaron was
know.
there at the roundabout.
Yeah,
I was on the opposite side of the garage. Yeah,
but yeah, and I think Karen was running down alongside me. Like, it was just go, go. And my last 100 meters,
Ken
I
was there as
just
well. Yeah,
boom, Ken was there. So
yeah.
I saw nothing, and it's so strange how so much going on around you, but you just don't see anything. And
And
then crossing the
if
line.
I jump in there actually, because like when I saw you that time, you were probably maybe 200 meters to go,
Mm,
and I looked at the clock. I could see the clock, and it was like 16:20, heading towards 16:30, and I was like, "Fuck, is he going?" Like I was like, "This is going to come into seconds,"
yeah.
and I actually thought, it's hard to judge how much you're going to finish, but like in fairness, you lifted it again. You got a good push to the finish, you know.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I was able to pick it up, which I was actually happy about. That's what I always used to do when I just ran kind of shorter distance. I was always had that bit of kick, so it was nice to have that again at the end, and to come back and see the clock at 15, 53, 54, and 55, and know that I could, right, I've done it, and
mhm.
I was able to give a fist pump on it going across the line as well.
You were like
Um,
Kipchoge in the
yeah,
substitute.
but
Yeah, yeah. In fairness,
it's amazing. And look, again, I cannot thank enough everybody who had, thanked or that who had said beforehand, best of luck, wish me luck, the whole lot of it. Then after it's coming up and pictures and the whole lot of it. And there was so many there who were happy for me.
yeah.
And it was actually very, very heartwarming. And it actually was so nice of people to come up and say it. So do appreciate it.
There's
Some
a lot of
people,
goodwill there. In fairness, yeah,
some
yeah.
people, I was probably too gassed to even like, if I blanked anyone, I apologize because I was feckered by the end of it. So it's done. I've got it. It was a slog. People said I would, and people said I would do it easily. I didn't do it easily.
Nothing's easy. Yeah.
You know,
Mm.
If you look at it realistically, right, a sub 17 5K is fair clipping, and to do it off 8 weeks training. So like I know people were saying, oh, you're a 1540 something, is it
hmm
1541
yeah,
5K runner? But that's a long time ago.
yeah,
Like you were trying to do this in 8 weeks. Like, oh, from being injured trying to get back, I wouldn't be able to run a 17 minute 5K now, I don't think.
Yeah,
Like
and I
so
think as well. Like, sorry, I need to add to that. Like, you turn yourself straight into the deep end today. Like, you didn't have a warm up race to see, like, geez, am I actually,
yeah.
you didn't like, if you're going for a marathon, you might have a half marathon a few weeks beforehand or whatever. You turn yourself into that. You didn't know what your race pace was going to feel like, as
No,
such. For.
no, and I didn't. And that's the thing. That's the problem. I missed a lot of the longer. I use the term longer runs in the weekends. Like there was supposed to be that 2 mile time trial, which I'd never done. There was supposed to be these 10 minute runs, which some of them I didn't do. They're the ones that you have to do. The sessions are great because like you can do it most of them because you have your minute or 90 seconds or 2 minutes recovery, and you can keep on doing it. There was one stage in my head, it was like, if I stop here for 60 seconds, I'll be okay again. But 60
Mm.
seconds, you're gone out of it, so there's no point in doing that. But the mind plays such tricks with you. And I did say, I can't remember who it was before, and I said before, and if I might get my head right and I keep my head in the zone, I'll be okay. And that's why in the last half a mile, I literally focused on my breathing because I didn't want my brain to be going, oh, you're hurting here, you're hurting, you're hurting. Because I would have just went, oh yeah, easy way, step off, or slow down. I was like, no, focus on your breathing and you'll get through it. But look, a couple of things, lads. One, and this is straight off, right? A couple of things I learned from it. One, for the next plan that I will have going forward, strength and conditioning has to be a factor 1 or 2 days a week at home. No point sitting on gym because I want something at home. Two, need to look at doing a proper warm-up plan before a session, of, stretching and, strides and all this stuff. Need to get that dialed into place as well. And three, recover a bit better. And what I mean by that is eat better, sleep better. Straight off, the favorite part of my Wednesday sessions, I came back here and used the the boots, you know what I mean? They are like, so use that a little bit more as well.
I think it all comes kind of hand in hand, though. Do you know, when you do start training, like, not saying you're not training properly, but like, do you know, when you get into a routine, I think your food and your sleep and all these things naturally, just because you're going to be conscious of them. Whereas
100%.
like when you're not training or you don't have a target race, you're like, here, I'll get that takeaway, or here, what difference does it make? Do you know what I mean?